Yeah, you know what time it is. Come brawl with them boys of the fall. Covered in gray and scarlet, massive, stiff arms to your jaw. We breaking it. We sick of seeing you clowns with the crown. We taking it. Number one flaws, you don't know ball. We taking advantage of that. Got you Karens asking where the manager at. With no cap, no time for the amateur rap. Look, man, we got dogs all over the depth chart. Monsters on the roster. Straighten up that posture. Rooting out you imposters. Silver bullets in the chamber. And a D-line full of danger. Step back when that linebacker trigger, when he pull it, it'll bang ya. Running backs running downhill. Touchdown on your IG reel. Better check the stats, buddy, it's straight facts over how you feel. Whenever I speak, I'm giving you more balls than German Village, Short North, and High Street. And you know, the average Joe can do nothing with my flow. It's a way, somebody please give his brother an I.O. Come on.
I told y'all before, I need to feel y'all's energy. Stop sitting on y'all hands and get this place lit. Like I said, bring the energy.
Yeah, you know what time it is. I'm raw with them boys of the fall. You know what time it is. On the ground with a nose for the ball. You know what time it is. Blood, sweat, and them tears for this game. Leaving it all out on the field with no fear for you lame. You know what time it is. I'm brawl with them boys of the fall. You know what time it is. On the ground with a nose for the ball. You know what time it is. Blood, sweat, and them tears for this game. Leaving it all out on the field with no fear for you lame. And it's Buckeyes by a billion. We in the building with over 100,000. We represent from the... Yo, I heard that you know what time it is. Joint bangs in a system with some nice speakers. If you haven't played it in some speakers, like some speakers, that joint bangs. What up, y'all? What's up, man? I've been so excited to get with y'all today. This has been a fantastic weekend. We got a lot to talk about, and we're going to get into that. The chat, the best chat in the entire world, is on fire already. What up, Stilly Matt? I got to holler at Stilly again this weekend. We'll talk about that. Robert Howard, what's up, brother? Ryan Day's Championship Beard. Sean Schrock, Craig Bowman, Firefish, all of y'all, man. All of y'all. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Who else we got in here? Make sure I ain't forgetting nobody. Listen, everybody, man, I appreciate y'all. So listen, Funky, what's up, brother?
What's up, B. Moses? It's in another Sunday, waking up as national champions, B. Moses. So watching the spring game yesterday just made me remind me how lucky we are of the season that we just witnessed and the fact that we can call ourselves the first national champions of the 12-team playoffs and the current reigning national champions. So we'll never take that for granted. What an amazing year. Watching the boys get them rings just makes you appreciate just that much more. Looking back at the season, rewatching the games. I know I've rewatched the games pretty much, every other day, if not every day. So love it. Can't get enough of it. And but very, very excited for the next season because now we're only about 139 days away. So we're probably going to wake up and it's going to be there. So, but I cannot wait. Excited to be here again. And there's not a lack of stuff we can talk about today, I'll tell you that. So it's going to be an amazing show, and hopefully we get through everything. But if not, then we'll be here next week. So.
Yes, man. You know that, brother. Listen, I had a fantastic weekend. And yes, we're going to hit on the spring game. We're going to hit on the portal, and we're definitely going to hit on Nico. So don't you worry. I should have put it in the title. I might go back and edit it. I was talking to Funk about that. We definitely going to hit on Nico. So don't you worry. We're going to talk about it. But let me tell you about my weekend real quick, man. So first of all, I'm going to kind of go from today on back. So first and foremost, today, man, I coach a flag football team with my brother, Coach Tommy Gunn, and my son plays as well. And we got a big win today. Shout out to the Cornhuskers. That's our name in the league, is the Cornhuskers. We beat the Ducks 30-8 today, and everybody played well. My son BJ had a long touchdown run. He hurried the quarterback, caused interceptions, and made plays. Shout out to TJ, Beckett, Chase, Nolan, Cooper, James, Devin, and Braylon. All them boys. Braylon didn't play today because he's not feeling well. Hope you feel better soon, buddy. We got you the dub today. You know what I'm saying? It's fun coaching. It's tough. You know what I'm saying? Coaching young kids, 9 years old. But it's so rewarding and it's so fun. You see the confidence rising as they make plays, and you know what I'm saying? And it's just so dope. So shout out to my squad for getting that dub today. They all balled out, multiple long runs, interceptions, pass breakups, pulling flags like crazy. I was amped up. Y'all should have saw me out there, man. But that was today. Great day. And then yesterday, I took my kids to the first of all, we went to the Scoop meetup. Like I said, I saw Stilly Matt once again, hooked up with Kirk, and a bunch of other Scoop members. Took some pics, dapped up, smiled, laughed, yucked it up. Beautiful time. Went to the shoe. We left a little early about halftime because and we're going to talk about the game. That's why I'm skipping the game. But it's been an annual thing for me to take my kids to the spring game. 9-year-old son, BJ, and my daughter's 11. Her name is Joy. And so they had their jerseys on. They love it, man. So after that, we went to the Minecraft movie. And somebody in the chat asked how the Minecraft movie was. Listen, I don't play Minecraft. I only see what my kids do when they're playing, when I'm walking through and they say, Daddy, look what I'm building. You know what I'm saying? But it was so crazy in the movie theater. There was people, for you Minecraft people out there, I was so confused. Jack Black said, I am Steve. The whole theater erupted. What does that even mean? And then the chicken, the lava chicken, and they just went crazy.
The chicken jockey, yeah.
The chicken jockey. I'm like, I mean, I turn around, like I lean over to my kids, like, what? Why are they clapping? And they just kept telling me stuff like, this is what this means. That I'm like, whatever. Listen, I love Jack Black. He's great. And then Jason Momoa was great. It was a good movie, but I had no clue on half the stuff that was going on. But yeah, that's really the gist of my weekend. I mean, it was just a great time with the kids. The spring game was great. And then, of course, we got that dub today. I know that was a little longer than usual, but, man, I had to tell you all that.
Man, that makes me feel young, V. Moses. That Minecraft movie stuff has been insane, especially around here or in a college town. Like, kids are just going there and just whatever, creating chaos. But it's fun. I've yet to go, but I'm definitely missing out. At first, I thought it was just gonna be a kids movie, but now I realize how many kids, even my age, 20 plus, are going to watch this and just,
Yeah, bro. The
Yeah.
people in the theater that was shouting and clapping was either teenagers or young adults. I'm just like,
Yeah.
the cult following for this. I've slept on this. Like, this is crazy. But anyway, it was dope, man.
Yeah. Watching that spring game was usually I get excited for the spring game, but it's usually very disappointing. Like, I usually don't. I watch it and I turn it off and I'm like, wow, that was kind of mid. People are probably gonna make some overreactions about it, probably freak out a little more than they should. Like last year's spring game was very mid. It was just not like, I mean, nothing special. I mean, it's a spring game, so it doesn't really matter. But man, watching this spring game was not just super entertaining, one, but two, it was very good high level football. The talent on this year's roster is very obvious. This is probably one of the most like talent. We had the most talented roster. Oh my God, why am I not speaking English right now? This is a roster filled with a bunch of talent, and it was very clear there on Saturday. From even the two deeps is what really was interesting me the most, because our two deeps were playing real football in the O-line. Those the secondary two deeps were amazing. Lincoln was playing well. I mean, Julian was clearly the best player on the field. But then you saw guys like Mylan Graham and Logan George, and it was just good high-level football all across the board. When you saw Riley Pettijohn make good plays, Styles was making great players. Both of the Styles brothers are doing great. Like, it was just very good to see. And you don't usually, and I will talk to obviously a lot of people about the spring game, and a bunch of older people. I've talked to Kirk about it, I've talked to Nevada about it, and they're like, that was the best spring game I've ever watched. And I was like, wow. And that means maybe something. Maybe it means nothing. But yeah. I think it means something for sure. I think the shows just where the program's at. And even though we lost a ton of guys, they're not playing football like with their chicken, or like with their whatever, like a chicken with its head cut off, So It looked like real football with real players, and that's always good to see, because you just don't know what you're expecting on a spring game, especially on a season where we had a really late ending. So a lot of these guys just gotten back into things, just gotten back into things and playing football. They didn't have the full winter workouts like we usually do. So just a little different vibe right now in the college football world. But yeah, but everything was positive, really. So I really have nothing negative to say about it.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I don't think, listen, a lot of us who've been Buckeye fans for a long time, we've watched a lot of spring games. And, back in the day, there was some pretty competitive and fun spring game. I remember when Terrell Pryor was here, like they actually played back then, they were actually playing a real game. And so you just saw a little bit more opened up. But yeah, this was a very good showing. And I mean, for a controlled environment like it was, I was definitely impressed with just being able to watch the practice. So, but yeah, going to saying, and it's funny to me because this is a microcosm example of not just our fan base, but just fans in general about how quick we overreact to stuff. Just last week, people was talking about Lincoln Kingholes, right? And how they were concerned about Julian Sayin taking a step back because Kingholes was getting buzz. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, no, like it's one practice. This is a classic overreaction. And look, what do we see? We see Julian Sayin coming out razor sharp, taking command of the offense, looking really good. Kingholes was fine. He didn't come out looking as sharp as Sayin did, but he calmed down and got a little better, and he was solid. So to me, I think a lot of people, and this is what kind of irritates me, but because I'm not an overly negative person, it's like some people want to gravitate towards the negative regardless. To me, coming out of the spring, it seems like we got two really good, talented quarterbacks that are only going to get better. We still got the entire summer, like mental reps and physical reps. Then you got the fall camp, you know what I'm saying, which is a whole nother level to get you ramped up. So seeing what we saw from Sayin specifically, to me, I asked the question in the title, did he pull away or did he separate? I think, to me, he reminded us that he is the guy unless he just has a complete breakdown. Like, I think he's going to start. He should start. I think he just shows that natural command. He throws a better ball. He was more accurate. He was more consistent. And so I was very excited to see Julian Sayin come out looking like that, especially after some of the people thinking he was kind of on a downslide, Funky, because of the Lincoln Kingholes stuff. So, yeah, I mean, I'll say that about Sayin before I go on. But did you want to respond to anything I said?
Yeah, I mean, we had the same stuff from the very beginning. I mean, we even going back to last year, we thought it was pretty locked in stone that Sayin would be the starting quarterback for this year's Ohio State team. But then all of a sudden, a few weeks ago, or even the whole entire spring, Ryan Day has been pushing the narrative to other beat writers and telling people that it's pretty close and saying whatever, telling there's really some beat writers out there that have the opinion that Sayin sucks, and that's their popular take, and they're gonna die on that hill. And they probably get that from people from Ohio State trying to push that information out, so people start to think that this is actually a battle. That it's a competition between Lincoln and Julian. But in reality, I really don't think it was ever a competition, B. Moses. I think Ryan and pretty much the whole entire Woody Hayes or the WAC has known who's going to be the starting quarterback, and it's Julian Sayin. And that's very obvious at this point. And anyone who, doesn't really think that I think they're wrong. I think they're genuinely wrong. I think Julian Sayin's the starter, and I don't think it's really that close. So I just got to stop letting what Ryan Day's say about the quarterback battle affect at all what I think, because we all know what Ryan's going to say. Ryan's going to go out there and be, oh yeah, it's neck and neck. It's still neck and neck. It's still neck and neck. But we know it's not. There's a reason why. What's his name? There's a reason why Devin Brown left, because he knew there wasn't actually going to be a battle in the spring. He knew that it was Julian's job.
Fair point.
And he knew it was because if Devin thought it would actually be a real battle, then Devin Brown would be here still, because Lincoln was worse. Devin Brown got the reps over Julian last year. So, yeah. So this is clearly Julian's job. I mean, I would bet Julian to win the Heisman. That's just my personal thing because we saw what the other with Max Clare, Mylan Graham, obviously JJ Smith, Cardell Tate. The offensive line is very good. I literally have no issues on the offensive line at all. Then yeah, I think I feel pretty comfortable betting him to win the Heisman. Just
Yeah.
one sec. Sorry, wait 1 sec, B Moses.
Okay. Thought you was breaking up. I'm assuming that's not the real Bill Green in the chat, right? Stilly, I think you said Burner Sunday. That's an imposter, Bill Green. That's not coming off like Bill Green in the chat. This guy. Is that you, Bill, or are you an imposter? Please tell us. And I can jump in, Funky, if you need me to till you figure it out. All right.
Sorry, no, I just got back. Sorry, people were calling me, and I had to, break that up because I'm on live. My bad.
Calling me. I'm
live.
Stop
calling me. No, exactly. Yeah, I have no idea if that's Bill Green or not, but
I'm gonna go with no.
Yeah, probably not, but just because he's never been on the show before. But I am the real Bill the Bank Green. That's what the fake Bill the Bank Green would say. So
right.
No,
we
but
don't believe, buddy.
I really do think Julian Sayin's gonna win the Heisman, and I really, especially after that game, man. It's I don't know who's gonna stop our offense this year, and there's so much weapons around Julian that it's just gonna be hard for me to pick anyone else. Because if you pick another team, then you're gonna have to bet on that team. They'll be good. That they'll be a playoff team at least. They'll go at least 10-2, maybe 11-1, and then you also have to bet that they'll put up the same offensive stats that Julian will put up, and that's just not gonna happen. Like I really don't think that's gonna happen. I mean, you have the best tight end in America, the best wide receivers in America, and the solid running back core. Good enough running back core will be. They'll use them and they're good enough, but but also good enough where they're like not going to take over the job. Like we're not going to be a run first team. It reminds me a lot of 2018 where Dwayne Haskins was able to throw for like 50 touchdown passes because that year the run game was, a little weaker. So we got to throw the ball a lot more. And yeah, it was supposed to be Brian Hartline and OC. I have a hard world seeing where Julian isn't at least a front runner for the Heisman at some point during the season.
Yeah, I mean, and listen, y'all, to kind of undergird Funky's point, I don't think Funky's saying Julian Sayin is just going to come out and just be, New Orleans Saints Drew Brees. I say that instead of Purdue Drew Brees, although he was really good at Purdue. The point is that we got so many weapons. We have so many great coaches. If he comes in and handles business and throws accurately like we saw him do in the spring game, and again, I know it's a spring game, but I'm saying if he does that, he will be in New York. I don't know about if he win the Heisman because we haven't seen the landscape, who will emerge, but with his weapons, our talent, our trajectory, I don't think that's crazy to say at least he'll be in New York. I mean, just by default. But yeah, it was very, very good to see Sayin step up after the recent wave of doubt and and whatnot about him because of Keenholz. But I tell you who else popped. A few people popped, but Mylan Graham popped. Like he's going to play. He's going to play more than I thought he would play. Am I saying he's going to play more than Ennis or Tate? I'm not saying that, but I can see Hartline rotating a little more than he typically does beyond those three receivers. You know what I'm saying? Especially if Graham keeps showing playmaking ability with that speed, he's going to force himself in there. And he looked really good, man. Catching the ball. I know Ryan Day said he has to work on catching the ball cleanly, after the initial contact and all that, which is fine. But that's going to be done in repetition. That speed and his ability. I mean, he looks better running routes than I thought he would. And I'm not saying I thought he was trash running routes, but he looks really good, man. It's an embarrassment of riches. I haven't even talked about Quincy Porter. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, it's crazy. So yeah, Mylan Graham really popped to me as well. The Max Clare touchdown, Funky, that just made me it was just beautiful because They were in a too high safety look. They were in cover two, and we ran Max Clear right up the middle between those safeties. We're going to see a lot of that this year, y'all. That's just the simple cover two beater, running the tight end up the seam and putting the safeties in conflict. And guess what? Julian Sayin threaded the needle accurately to one of the best, if not the best, tight end in the country. Like defensively, Funky, how do you stop this with all these receivers? You have to account for J.J. Smith. You have to account for Tate. And then Ennis, I believe he's going to make you account for him if he's in the slot. And let's say you got Max Clear lined up tight and you run him up the seam. What are you going to do? Max Clear literally can line up out wide and burn some DBs. Like, I'm excited about this passing offense, bro. What you think?
I mean, we saw it live in action. It looked like almost like unguardable at times, B Moses, especially even with the second team versus the second team secondary, which I think is extremely, the way, like, I think the secondary that we have, even our backups, are better than 99% of team starters. You can say the same for our wide receivers, but there were some throws that Julian made that, or even Max Clare almost got to, or J.J. Smith almost got to, or Mylan Graham almost got to, that were just freaky plays. Could someone ban that Bill Greenburner, please, in the chat? Or B Moses, can you do it? He's being, it's not,
Clearly not Bill Green.
Yeah. To get to what I was saying, there's just some freaky plays being made all over the field that it's going to be a lot of stuff that you could really, help out your first year quarterback with. Yeah, because obviously Julian is going to still be a rookie. But first of all, there's rookie quarterbacks all the time who win the Heisman. I mean, that happens all the time. They go in their first year starting and they go and win the Heisman. Some I think Bryce Young did it in recent memory. Obviously, Johnny Manziel did it as a freshman. I know there's a handful of them that did it in their first year starting. So I know that could for sure happen, no doubt in my mind. But what you can do to really make a first year quarterback have a very good, successful season is be able to make those freaky plays. Be able to run good screen passes, break screen passes, those early check downs to the tight ends or the running backs. And those are all, that's good stuff that you need in offense. That's all stuff we have. And then obviously you have Ryan Day at your head coach, and you have Brian Hartline as your offense coordinator. You have Tyler Bowen and Keenan Bailey, who are all, in my opinion, able to run an offense and work together to, make a great offense and have a great game plan and really show out. I mean, you have the wide receivers coach from Oregon last year. You have just so much talent from head coach to the wide receiver coaches to the 3 offensive line interns that were former offensive coordinators elsewhere in college football. It's just so much stuff that it's our offense this year. I mean, if we're not the best offense in the nation, then we're going to be second or third. It's going to be hard to stop us again this year. And it's weird because I can say all this stuff and I'm super excited about 2026 or 2025 and 2026, but this team in 2 years, B Moses, is going to be like one of the, because this year we're the national title favorites, but it's still, it's still a long shot, still would be, a very insane thing to do, especially back to back. That just doesn't really happen often, unless you're obviously Georgia that just did it. But it's really insanely hard to do. I don't think Ohio State's ever done it. So, but that's definitely not my prediction going into the season. But the year after that, we're going to be the national title favorites by a long shot. And it's, I'm already excited for that season because that season's going to be special. Because that's going to be Julian Sayin second year, J.J. Smith's third year, and that's all I got to say. That I don't need to say any more than that because that's good enough to win you a natty, like right there. And we're probably going to be plus 300 that year. This year I think we're like the favorites, but it's what, plus 600, plus 700. But I mean, next year, man, or the year. I shouldn't even think about that. Let's take it one year, one day at a time, B Moses. But we have a good future. There's not a better time to be an Ohio State fan. It's genuinely a special thing right now, and I'm grateful that I've been alive during the goodness of being an Ohio State fan. I've not really had that many hardships, so that's
No, you have not,
I
sir.
have not. Yeah, I have not.
That you are a blessed young man. I mean, outside of the cheating scum games and the one from this year, yeah, bro, you haven't had much hardship. Because yeah, for those of us who have seen the '90s, yeah. So there's that. But regarding the spring game and more highlights of what we saw, I saw somebody in the chat asking about, are we concerned about the defense? I am not. And one of the main things is I didn't need Ryan Day to confirm it, but he confirmed it. They only ran 2 coverages. He said they kept it very vanilla defensively. So again, this is a controlled environment. The coaches, there's certain things they want to see. And Ryan Day told you what he wanted to see. He wanted to see the passing game. So he kept it very simple defensively. So that doesn't mean that the defense, can't show like a unit, like the D line can't stand out and get pressure and do certain things. They're going to be looking at all of that. So I'm not saying there's not any improvement that's needed. I'm saying that I'm not going to overreact to any perceived deficiency based off of just doing vanilla coverages. You feel me? Especially when you're trying to cater to the game to see the passing game flourish. So there's that. Yeah, I saw, like I said, overall the game was very entertaining. Your boy Donaldson, CJ Donaldson looked good. Listen, I know it's a scrimmage, but he showed burst. He showed pretty solid vision. I mean, if he can do anything remotely close to that, I think he's going to be just fine. So I thought Donaldson looked good. That's
Yeah,
another one
I
that
had
jumped
that
out. Go
pretty
ahead, bro.
early on. Like pretty early on, I was told CJ Donaldson looked like running back 1. We talked about this weeks ago, B Moses at this
Yeah,
point.
yeah,
Because I got really good information about him, and I was told he looked really good. And obviously, you don't really know if your information's correct until you see again, unless you see it live and you
right.
actually see it on the field. And man, I watched him play, and I was like, I'm gonna keep trusting that person who told me that because man, he looked good. He was, I mean, fast, agile, strong. That he's going to be good out of the backfield. He was good in pass pro. Uh, he's clearly there's only one running back yesterday that was not very good, and that was Sam William Dixon, and he's going to be our running back 4 this year. So, but I was very impressed with CJ Donaldson, and yeah, Peoples is probably going to be the running back 1. That's the most likely scenario. But my take weeks ago was because people thought CJ was coming here, to be the third string or the third string running back or to take just the third down reps, and they thought Peoples would be the worst, or not the workhorse of the running back, and he was gonna take 75% of the carries. I just don't think that's gonna happen. I'd be shocked if Peoples took over 50% of the carries. I think it'll be a true, something somewhere around 40 to 45% carries for the both of them, and where 10%, 15%, maybe even up to 20% for Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson looked good, but again, freshmen, they're probably gonna want to share the wealth to older kids.
Yeah, no, I agree. Bo Jackson did look good. He had a good day. He showed to me. He showed because listen, we don't want to underestimate. These are freshmen, y'all. We're so spoiled here. We're so used to Jeremiah Smith and other freshmen over the years that have just stepped up, but they're the outlier. Bo Jackson, to me, he looked like he was confident that he knew what he was doing. He did not look timid at all. I mean, he played well. He's going to help this team this year. I don't know how many reps, but he's going to play. Absolutely. So yeah, that just makes me even more excited. And Funky, I gotta go back and rewatch, but I'm not saying you said Williams Dixon was bad, but I don't recall him looking. I thought he was solid, but I gotta go back and watch again because I left the game early.
So I recall him looking. I mean, not. I hate shitting. I hate not being nice to any of the kids on the team, but I To me, he didn't. He looked kind of slow, was getting chased down a lot. I don't think he was reading the holes right. Or maybe that's a credit to. But again, too real. This is such a small sample size, but that was my 2 cents. I watched this. I watched it twice now, but I want to get into Max Clare one more time because
Yeah,
if y'all
let's do it.
who got Max Clare, y'all know y'all got it first here on this show.
Yes, you did.
Funky Buck had it first. I mean, that's my pride and joy right now because that was nowhere. That was nowhere. That was not on any site on anything. Well, Craig, the bot is back. Oh well, people are weird. B Moses, holy.
You see my face? If y'all
Yeah.
just saw my face like this, that's why I saw the another bot. But anyway, go ahead, bro. We'll ignore them
Yeah.
until they start talking reckless.
Yeah, I had for that Max Clare thing first. So obviously, Max Clare to me is always going to mean a little more because, but just feels good. I want him to succeed. I obviously have some great connections within his circle. Obviously, they are the ones who really helped me out and told me where he's going. So I'm very grateful for that. And Claire is going to be an absolute superstar. He's going to be an absolute. He's going to be the best tight end in Ohio State history. And I've said that before. I'm going to keep saying it. He's going to be the best tight end in Ohio State history. He's going to change this game. As long as we use him right, he's going to be he'll put up as much stats as we want him to. I'll say that. I don't want to say any stats. I don't want to say any touchdowns because you just don't really know because we have so many mouths to feed that it's going to be impossible to really tell. Like he probably won't even end up being first team All-American or even an All-American in general because, they just read the stat sheet and they don't really care what else you do. They literally just read the stat sheet and see what team you're on. So I really don't think that Claire will be like, I wouldn't bet on it, but I think from purely talent-wise and an NFL prospect-wise, he's going to be as high of a draft pick as we've ever had, and he's going to be a true weapon. And there's going to be times where it's going to be a 3rd and long, a 3rd and 11, whatever, those 3rd and 7s, those 2nd and 15s, and Julian's going to be getting mauled in the pocket, throw it over the middle, and Max Clare is going to bail him out, It's going to be those just bailout plays that we you hate having against you, you love having for you, and I think he's just going to be a really big part of those because he's going to get a lot. He's funky. He's throwing out some high superlatives. Yeah, I mean, it's hard not to. One, because Max Clare's one. He's the preseason All-American, so anything I'm saying has backing to it. Max Clare is the preseason best tight end in America.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying this like he's done nothing. When's the last time we had a preseason first team All-American at tight end?
Great question.
I don't know. I don't recall. I have zero answers to that. So any hyperbolas I learned, I don't think they're actually
Dudley?
over.
Well, you weren't even alive.
Don't even know who that
Dudley?
is, B Moses. I don't even know who
Exactly.
that is. Yeah.
He was a dog, though.
Yeah. So I'm not saying this to say it. I'm saying this because he was the most explosive tight end in the country last year for Purdue. He was on Purdue. So imagine what he's going to do now when he has. The teams are going to have to run 2 safeties against us, and against 2 safeties, that middle of the field, those tight ends, the tight end on linebacker matchups are going to be. We're going to be able to abuse it like we've never had before. And I cannot wait because he showed it. He showed out on Sunday. What he kept 2 touchdown catches or something. I'm really forgetting, but he was a star.
1 touchdown catch, but he had a few other catches that were really. I mean, there's no doubt what Funky is saying. Claire is a dog.
He's a dog.
Like, this is not even a debate. This is not. This is not even so. Oh, he's reaching. If you don't know who Max Clare is, go to YouTube after this show. Like, he's a dog. Okay. So real quick. Speaking about saying real quick, and we can move on to the portal. Get into the portal needs and get into Nico, and then we had a super chat about recruiting, all that stuff. So we can get into that now and shift gears. But real quick about Julian Sayin, and shout out to my brother Deontay Marshall. We were talking, and he was gushing about how Sayin was stepping up in the pocket, and I noticed that as well. Like Sayin was like, it wasn't that he was throwing accurately, but his pocket presence. Listen, I know it was a spring game. I'm grain of salt. However, seeing him step up in the pocket, that's something that carries over to the game. And so he was doing a good Deontay, my brother Deontay was saying he was noticing how he was stepping up in the pocket fearlessly and firing, accurate throws, and that's going to be needed. So I just wanted to put that out there real quick before we transition from the spring game to the portal. Did you have anything else about the spring game?
No, no, nothing. I guess we'll hit it on the portal. What I want to say. So yeah, no, nothing about spring game. Just great thing. We had a great attendance. Oh, sorry, I know it was the worst attended spring game that we've had since whatever 2000 blah 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 whatever a while ago. But if you compare our spring game to every other spring game across the country, it was worlds better. I think we had the most attended spring game so far, and I think it will stay like that for the rest of spring. So that's for plenty of reasons. I think it's one because the season ended so late, so people still feel like the season just ended, so there's not as much excitement. Two, the whole spring showcase thing really slowed it down. But yeah, so spring, obviously the attendance, even though in our minds it was bad, still great compared to the whole rest of college football,
Right.
and it'll be way better next year. This is just a very, very, very strange year.
Yeah, for sure. And I think they perceived that the tickets weren't moving because I got a phone call from Ohio State. Like, I forget his name, from Ohio State, Mr. Moses. We've noticed you went to the spring game in prior years. Would you like me to help you get your tickets? I mean, like, so they,
how much were tickets be, Moses, if you don't mind me asking?
$10, but I think like $12.50 after the Ticketmaster taxes. So
Dang, they should make it $5.
It used to be $5.
That's what it should be. I don't know. Whatever. Okay, that's just. We should just pack it. I don't get why Ohio State cares about making money on this game. We should just literally pack. We should have 100,000 people there. That's what it should be. 100,000 people there. You can sell concessions and maybe a $5 entry. Like that's what it should be. That's what it should be. But that's just my opinion.
I mean, that might make more sense. More butts in seats, so it might end up being more revenue with the cheaper price. I mean, I don't know. That's above my pay grade, whatever. But yeah, so let's get into this portal, man. And I see y'all in the chat. I mean, listen, I'm just gonna get right into it. So we've maintained from the beginning, like weeks ago, we told you that defensive line was one of the areas that we would target. And so Ryan Day didn't come out and say it when he was asked, like, yeah, we're going after this guy. But he said, we're definitely going to take a look at it, which means they're going to go after D linemen. That makes sense. I think our starting four can be really, really good. This is not as if we just don't have any guys. But if you have the portal, you want to go in there and get some difference makers to add to what you already have, what you believe is good and can be really good. So I think we could stand at minimum, Funky, and you tell me what you think, to get – well, first of all, the caveat is this. I keep hearing good stuff about Logan. What's his name from Idaho State? Logan George. So I've heard conflicting info about Logan George behind the scenes, but to me, from the coaches, from Coach Johnson, from Ryan Day in his presser said – this is, to me, listen, because we have to decipher between coach speak, right? Coach speak or whatever. But Ryan Day said his guys during the national championship run in practice had problems blocking him. To me, that's saying something. If our starting guys during that playoff run had problems blocking him, they said he had heavy hands, like that means he's a problem. Like he's going to be a problem. So that's good to hear. With that said, I think we need, in my opinion, one really good pass rushing DN. Is that Stanford kid still on the table, Funky? Or did he get picked up? Do you know?
I'm 99% sure he got picked up. I'm forgetting who though.
Okay.
But I think I remember seeing I remember seeing it really late at night, so I literally forget who it was. But I think he got picked up, but none of this is official, I don't think, because I don't think the portal's even open. So
yeah. So we'll see. But then I would love to get another really good stout D tackle for depth. I love McDonald. I think we just need other guys to step up. I think some guys can step up, maybe. But listen, man, if we're gonna hit anything, a stout, proven D tackle and a stout pass rushing defensive end that can get to the quarterback, to layer with our guys that's already there. You know what I'm saying? Because I believe Kenyatta can show some things this year, and You know, we need really, really good quality depth. I think that will shore up that deficiency there. And so, what do you think, Funky? You think one of each of D tackle and DN is good enough? Or are you trying to go more?
He committed to Texas Tech, by the way.
Texas Tech,
Texas Tech.
interesting,
Yeah. I have a feeling. I knew it was a
interesting.
red school, but I was like, is he? I don't think it was USC. Yeah, it was Tech. It was clear money thing. Whatever.
Yeah, Texas Tech is NIL.
Yeah,
It has to be.
big,
Come
big.
on,
It
dog.
has to be. Yeah. Which is whatever. That's kind of dumb, but yeah, I think. I mean, I think we need serious help on the defensive line. To be honest with you, B Moses, I think we need. I would like to get a certified starter on if on the defensive ends or defensive tackles because I think when you have Caden because whoa, I'm blanking on names a little bit right now. Caden McDonald and the other defensive tackle star 5-star
Edric
kid
Houston.
Edric Houston are very different defensive tackles. Edric Houston, you can almost consider him an edge rusher, while Caden McDonald is the big goal line stand type guys, a little bit of lower motor,
Nose guard, one tech type
nose
guy.
guard, exactly. So I really think we need some sort of big time start, at least a starter that could really step in there and play either defensive end or defensive tackle. Could we always kick out Edric Houston out to defensive ends, or we can mix it up a little bit. But I think we need one like dude on the defensive line. Like I don't mean a Hero Canoe. I mean like a dude. I think we need a guy. And obviously, when I mean I think we need, that's just me saying to have a defensive line to really compete for a national title, like a defensive line that's good enough to fully compete for a defensive tackle, and it won't be like a total weakness. We can still win a natty without any help on the defensive line. I'm just saying for me to have any worries. Right now, I have a little bit of worries on the defensive line, but if we got a dude, I would be worryless. So
Oh yeah.
I definitely
Oh
expect
yeah.
Ohio State to get someone in the defensive line. I just hope it's not like someone that we expect to be the third string defensive tackle, even though that is a need. But we'll see.
Yeah.
I definitely think we're gonna hit the portal hard for the defensive line, and I've been saying that for a while now. Just there's been no one really in the portal that we've. I'm a little disappointed that we didn't get that Georgia kid because he was a dude, but we couldn't pay up or we didn't want to
Yeah.
pay up. And I still agree that we should not have paid up. But man, if we would have got him, we would have been set in stone, and I'd be sitting here saying, "Nope, I think we're good. I don't think we need anything. I think we just got to focus on retention." But
Right.
I really do think we need a dude there because I'm not a big fan of Kenyatta Jackson, and I'm not a huge fan of Caden Curry. To be serious with you, I love those middle two guys, but they're again we rotate so much. We need a lot of guys there. So it's just
Well,
gonna.
are you still predicting Hicks to start?
I would. Oof, I mean, it's he like
Hey.
I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna stand on business and say yes, but he has a long way to go.
Yeah.
He has ways to go. He's gonna have to have a camp, and even if he does start, it's. I mean, I'm not even sure if that's a good thing. To be honest with you, B Moses, like I don't know if that's promising. So it's
Yeah.
gonna be a thing because I just haven't seen it. I'm a little worried. I'm genuinely a little. It's fun if I talk to Kirk and Nevada about it, they'll probably laugh at me because they're getting a little older, a little wiser. They've seen this before, but that's my only little worry. So, but again, our linebacker core is one of the best linebacker cores we've ever had at Ohio State. Again, the two deeps are, extremely talented with Tony and Riley. So I'm not worried about and Payne Pierce, obviously. So in the linebackers, I'm not worried about at all. The cornerbacks, I'm not worried about at all. The safeties, not worried about at all. So if I'm really trying to nick hairs, I'd say really think Ohio State's going to go after the defensive line hard. And I hope so. And I think we're going to dish out some NIL because I think that we have some leftover money to spend. So, well, I know we do.
Oh yeah. We gonna fork over some dough for the right person. That's for sure. And so I wanted to my light went out for a second. I actually kicked it out being goofy, but I guess I should have kept that to myself. But anyway, but yes, I think we're gonna go hard after that. Now, let me say this, and shout out to my brothers. We talk football all day, every day. Los, Dewan, Mike Patterson, Deontay Marshall. We got to look like a little chat. We were discussing this. we were my homie Dewan was saying if we had to pick between the two, we would rather have a stout run stopping D line as opposed to two dominant pass rushers. So obviously, in a perfect world, you want both, right? That's the plan. That's the goal. We want to be able to come at you from the edge and stop you up front. However, what we were saying is that if we can make sure we can stop the run and get that solidified, Matt Patricia is going to scheme it up to get pressure. Listen, y'all, we're going to see more walking around, guys standing up pre-snap on defense than we ever have this year. I guarantee it. We're going to see exotic looks. We're going to see pressures coming from different areas. We're going to see CJ Hicks, he's going to come off the edge sometimes. And like Kirk's been saying, we're going to see the the wide 9 and all that. So listen, we're going to get pressure. I trust Patricia is going to get pressure. That doesn't mean we don't need to go out and get a guy who can get to the quarterback. But I'm saying, to me, if we can stop the run, then the rest will come. Caden Curry will continue to develop. Kenyatta Jackson, they've shown flashes, but I believe we'll get pressure in other ways until that consistency. Because think about it. Shoot, Sawyer and JT didn't even get consistent pressure until the end of their career. And I'm not saying that's the standard, but I'm just saying, that's just kind of where I'm coming from with that. But we don't have to keep harping on DN. To me, honestly, I don't know what other position that is an absolute need as much as defensive end. I'm talking about absolute need. I know there's other positions we can tap into and bring some guys in, but what do you think, Funky? Like, to me, is it defensive end? I mean, I'm sorry, defensive line in general, and then everything else, or is there something that's a close second or the same?
There isn't a close second. If we're being honest, the only thing that was a close second, or not even a close second, but a second in general, was quarterback.
Yeah.
But obviously now, I feel comfortable enough saying it that we're totally fine and that we're good. But that was the only.
You said quarterback, right?
Quarterback,
okay.
Yeah, the person who throws it. Yeah.
Okay. Got you. I thought you said corner at first, but that's a good segue, brother. Go keep on.
Yeah. So, and obviously, when that news dropped that Nico's contract negotiations or whatever, something was happening, I immediately hit my phone. I go text, as a lot of y'all know, and I've said this before in the show, I got to underline this. B. Moses knows this. During the football season, I'm going to say y'all in general. I know it wasn't every single one of y'all, but y'all were telling me how good Nico was and how awesome he was and how talented he was. And I was sitting here telling y'all, he's been very average, very mid. I'm gonna say that he's still a redshirt freshman quarterback. So he still has 3 more years of eligibility. But I was the first one saying that he's mid, but are not all that good. Like, he has a freak talent, but he's not all that good. And there's people in this chat telling me that I'm crazy for saying Will Howard's better than him. That was a real thing. But now it's the popular take that Will Howard's better with him. What's changed? So obviously the contract negotiations happened, and now all this propaganda is being put out against him, his family, his teammates are saying. It's crazy how it's changed, because now I'm on the side of, I feel like he's being underrated, because now people aren't saying, well, I'm not even saying this right, B. Moses, but now people are saying they don't want him. He's not even top 25. He's not even top 30. Nico's a cancer. Like, people are saying this, but really 2 days ago, no one was saying this. His teammates loved him. He was always like this. He was always a diva. So I'm not sure what's changed now of your all's opinions, because to me, nothing has changed. He's always been like this since his recruitment. He was the original NIL kid. If y'all remember, he was the original big time $8 million, $9 million deal NIL kid. So none of this is really surprising to me. So now I'm sitting here because I'm good friends. I'm good friends with the Nico's family. We went to the same middle school. I've been able to talk with him my whole life. Grew up with him. So I shot him a text and I said, "Yo, what's up? Whatever, blah, blah, blah." Pretty much told me it's real. And I asked him, like, who are you in contact with? He's like, oh, I've been in contact with USC, UCLA, uh, Ohio State, and he said Georgia too, which I now looking back at that was a little weird. Nico's not a good. He's a great. He's been a great teammate. Just these fake stories are just not. Like, they're not true. None of these stories are right. I mean, no one was calling him a bad teammate before the last 2 days, but now it's a propaganda push because Tennessee wants to be on the right side of history and they want an excuse for wasting $6 million, or what I can tell you, $4.5 million of NIL. Fuck, isn't allowed to go to Nico barbecue now.
So I'm gonna jump in on this, bro. Unless
Yeah,
you got more.
just pretty much what I'm saying is Nico and Ohio State were in contact, and I obviously report that on Buckeye Scoop, and people freaked the heck out, and now we're calling him horrible and not an upgrade and any of this stuff. And I'm telling you right now, book me to it. Nico's gonna be a first-round draft pick, and I don't care where he ends up. Obviously now his legacy is tarnished, and there's going to be a bunch of rumors spread about the next couple of days. They're all pretty much not true. I mean, obviously there's going to be some truth to everything that's said, but they're all going to be exaggerated to make Tennessee look good. But we're all going to look back at this, and there's going to be two things we're going to look back on. B. Moses, remember this, guys. One, this is going to happen again, and it's going to be very common. This is going to be a very common thing.
Yeah.
Two, teams are going to look back at this, and teams that whatever, either just needed, like maybe like last year's Michigan team where they had a horrible quarterback play. Teams like that where they feel like they're a quarterback away from winning a natty, they're going to look back at this and be like, we should have got Nico. Why didn't we go pay Nico? The second Julian Sayin has a bad game, that's the second Ohio State fans are going to do. They're going to wish we got Nico. So y'all are saying this now, and y'all talking all this big game, how we don't want Nico on our team. The second Julian struggles, the fan base is going to turn on him and say, oh, we should have got Nico. Because in general, I think Nico's going to be better than Julian next year. I think I would die on that. I think he would be if he played. Obviously, if Nico played for Ohio State, I think he'd have a better season than Julian. And that might be a hot take. Might get crapped on for that, but that's what I think. That's genuinely what I think, and I'll say that because I think Nico's has a year and a few games of experience, playoff experience already. He has a heart of the warrior. He clearly showed that to us on the game. He was about the only player that showed up, and he was beloved by the Tennessee fan base until 2 days ago. And now he's a fraud, not even top 25, overrated, trash, horrible human. So,
hey, Funky just went in on y'all.
I had to, because if y'all are on the board, y'all would have been seeing the crazy stuff people are saying.
Hey, that thread is hilarious, bro.
Yeah.
You old Scoop, go look at Funky's Nico Nugget thread. Is funny. But listen. All right, let me jump in on this.
So
okay.
yeah, I'm tripping. Yeah.
Nah, you good, man. Listen. All right. So first of all, Nico is not trash. I was actually very impressed with Nico on the field because to me, we need to compartmentalize this, okay, and not broad brush the situation. So on the field, as a player, I was impressed by Nico's fight. I mean, he was under duress in the shoe. I was there in person to see it. It was beautiful, but he was under duress. I don't blame that loss on him. He just ran into a Buckeye buzzsaw. The cracked helmet, all that stuff. He kept fighting. You feel me? So I respect that. He clearly has talent. He's faster and more elusive running the ball than I thought he was. So I'm definitely impressed with his talent. You know what I'm saying? That's not even a question, in my opinion. I do think he has the talent if he keeps, improving to be a first round pick. He has that talent. He has the size, all of that. No question. On the flip side, me personally, I try to be careful about, unless I just have great evidence, great information, to assume that a kid is a diva or whatever. Listen, I don't know the details between him and Tennessee and what was promised, what was said. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So listen, the unfortunate thing is, like Funky said, this is only the beginning. We're going to keep seeing holdouts. This is going to be mini NFL. The mini NFL. We're going to see holdouts. We're going to see all type of NIL leverage pools, all that stuff. So would I take Nico's talent here? Absolutely. Ryan Day and his coaching staff will work wonders with that kid. However, Ryan Day always talks about a culture fit. And I don't have enough information to know if he is indeed a diva with a crazy NIL moneybags dad who just wants to abandon his teammates because of the money. That's the narrative that's out there. I mean, if that's the narrative, then I don't want him. I personally don't want him on this team. But I don't have all the info to really know if that's true because, like Funky said, y'all have to keep in mind these universities with all this money and all this power can do that. They can put that stuff out there to try to shape the narrative. So with that said, I'm not going to just go off on the kid because I don't have enough information. But because of the lack of information I have, my vote is no. On top of the fact that I was already feeling Julian Sayin as the guy, and he only showed and proved that even more in the spring game that he's on the up and up. So I'm good. I'm good. No thank you on Nico based off of that. But the kid is a talent, and I do not think he's a bum. That cracked helmet was not his fault. He just read it to a Buckeye buzzsaw, man. What can you do, Funk?
Yeah, I mean, it's just okay. You're right. I wouldn't want to get Nico now after I'm more confident on Julian now, and obviously Ryan's confident about Julian because I mean, who wouldn't be after watching him play like that? I wouldn't want to step on his toes. I'd want him to be here because he can be here for 3 more years. Nico's probably gonna be here for 1 more year. So in that sense, I agree. I wouldn't want Nico on our roster. But let's just look in the NFL, guys. Who just won the Super Bowl? The Eagles. Who are like some of their star players on the Eagles? About 4 of their players are from the Georgia teams. 2 of them allegedly killed their teammate in a car accident. A.J. Brown was held out from Tennessee and requested a trade from Tennessee and was a complete diva wide receiver at Tennessee and pretty much forced his way out of there. You can go down their roster, up and down their roster, and it's teams it's gonna be common, and teams have to do what they do to win football games. I don't think obviously now Nico's a national story. And college teams are like he's pretty much blacklisted now. And I've gone pretty close with him, or especially as of recent, because he needs allies at this point in his life. And he's going to end up somewhere where he doesn't want to end up. Really, I mean, I think Nico go USC. Well, I've heard USC cooled off on him, so he's losing a lot of opportunities, losing a lot of money from this whole situation. That is just not true. I know someone just said like, "Oh, he's not a leader." He's no one was saying this during the year. During the year, people were saying he's
that's true,
undoubtable leader. He's a great leader. Literally, I remember seeing posts of Tennessee fans after the game because they're all on my timeline. They're being like, "Thank you, Nico. The futures fight with you as a quarterback. You're an undoubtable, fearless leader." And then all of a sudden, 2-3 days ago, he's all this stuff. So something's not adding up, and I know what it is. It's these universities are trying to be the big. They want to try to prevent it from happening again. So they're using Nico as an example, and then all of a sudden now they're going to be like, any other kid that wants to stand out, you're gone, and we're going to blacklist you, and no other team's going to want you because anyone who picks up Nico it's like breaking the unbroken rules. But eventually, a team's going to break the unbroken rules. Just like Bama did with the SEC transfer rules that they had within each other a while ago. Remember, SEC players weren't allowed to transfer within each other?
Yep.
Now that's free game. Now that happens every single year, 20 times a year. So eventually it's going to break, and I'm telling y'all, it's going to become common. And right now we're going to look back at it, and we're going to think Nico's the worst player in the whole entire world. But there's going to be a year where we're going to be like, wow, I really wish I had Nico on our team. So that's all I got to really say. It's just... because again, I'm critical on Nico. I was the original when everyone was telling us how awesome Nico was. I was the one standing there being like, "Yo, Will Howard's better." That was a quote. You can go back there. There is a video of me comparing stat by stat Nico and Will Howard and game by game and being like, Nico is not better than Will Howard. And I said that. And I think we're looking at Heisman odds or whatever. And people in this chat were telling me how crazy I was. So that's what's frustrating me a little bit, because so much has changed in the last 3 days, but in reality, nothing has changed. It's like when someone gets mocked into the top. It's like Anthony Richardson's draft stock. He was like a 2nd-round draft pick for years or whatever, not even the first round at all. Then all of a sudden, 2 days after his whole entire college career ends, and he runs a fast time at the combine, he gets picked in the fifth pick in the draft, and he's a bust. I was like, obviously he's a bust. Like we, he was always that fast. That it's just the tape. You don't need a combine to show me that. It's
Yeah.
like it's you get what I'm saying. You get what
Yeah,
I'm putting down. Yeah.
for sure. For sure. I wanted to share my meme. I made a little meme, a little Nico meme. I put this in Funky's thread. Y'all like the little "gon' get" at the end, like the Tennessee fans would sound. Tennessee pride. Anyway, tough crowd. But anyway, yeah. But yeah, so I mean, listen. This is what we are doing in college football right now, y'all. This is what we're dealing with. And I think people, I don't care who it is, it's an adjustment. From the old get off my lawn guy to the new school guy, it's an adjustment to deal with this type of stuff. And listen, that's why I keep telling y'all fans out there, be very, very happy and grateful for what we have. I'm so glad Ryan Day got off the mat and went on this epic run and not only kept his job, but won a ship and got an extension. Because I told y'all it's not just about winning games, but this man is a leader of men. He's a culture guy, and that is invaluable, especially as we enter into this craziness of the NIL and transfer portal world. You feel me? Like, what, listen, I'm thanking God that we don't have cultures like some schools down south getting DUIs every 2 seconds and FBI investigations up north and all that stuff. You feel me? Count your blessings. Elite football with elite young men. Now, listen, everyone's not perfect. Every now and then there might be some you can't, but for the most part, the overall culture of this school and this program is phenomenal. So yeah, Ryan Day has been very, very adamant, Funky. He's not going to just bring in anybody from the portal. Like this culture, I believe the culture of this team was the catalyst of winning the title last year. Because to be able to get through the adversity, it was the culture. And we're not going to bring anybody in that's going to disrupt and be a cancer in that culture. I'm not saying Nico would be that guy. I'm just saying in general. You feel me? Just as a principle. So anyway, with that said, anything else on that as we touch on the super chat? Somebody had a question for you, Funky, but go ahead.
I think you're totally right. I think you're we got to be really careful who we add to the team. And I think that was the biggest argument I had against Nico, is because you're right. He's extremely polarizing, and he's villain number one. I think I think Menace Sports said it. He'd be the number one villain in all of college football history if he went to Ohio State. And I agree. Yeah. And that's that's really not something you want to add, especially in this time. But 5 years later, it's going to be normalized, by the way. I'm just putting that out there. But you're right. And I think that's a really good thing by Ryan Day, because that helps with recruiting. That helps with making fair NIL packages for people. Someone brought up, I'm going to butcher his name. I'm sorry. Amir Arbor. He transferred to Ohio State a while ago. Great, talented kid out of high school, but he went there to
Texas. Yeah.
He posted today how much he regrets about leaving. He said it's the greatest mistake he's ever made in his life. And that's the culture we have here at Ohio State. You leaving needs to be the greatest mistake you've ever made in your life. And that's how kids are feeling. Because when you get to Ohio State, you get treated a certain way. There's no shady stuff like other places. You could be promised a ton of money, but you don't always get it. At Ohio State, you might not be promised the max amount of money, as much money as SMU or Texas Tech is offering you, but you're going to get it, and your experience is going to be authentic. And that's why we got to keep the culture like that good, by keeping who we get in the spring portal, good character kids who they know what they're getting, kids that aren't trying to squeeze us out for another 50K, 100K, but kids that are here to be a part of the team, get their fair share, and work for the common goal, which is, at the end of the day, the national title.
Yeah. No, that's great. That's a great call out, Funky. If y'all didn't see that, I thought I was just like, see, this speaks volumes. And so our system works. And that's the thing. We're not going to just overpay players. Like Jeremiah Smith deserves whatever he gets. Like, you know what I'm saying? Caleb down. I'm saying we're not just dumping cash like Miami and Texas A&M. It don't work like that. Like we can offer you so much more beyond just that money. You know what I'm saying? You talking about not a 4-year decision, a 40-year decision, NFL development, the brotherhood. I mean, it's just listen. We didn't even got to go into it. Y'all know. But that's a great, great, great point, Funky. Amari being regretful about him transferring up out of here. Nah, man, the grass is not greener. You know what I'm saying? For sure with this program. But real quick before we end, I wanted to make sure my condolences, Stilly Matt. I didn't catch on that you had a dog die, man. I know that's kind of off topic, but we love our brothers and sisters here with Buckeye Scoop, man, and that's a loss. So, condolences, Stilly Matt, for your dog dying, man.
Steely, my dog died 3 days ago, so I got you. I got it.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
See, hey, condolences to both of y'all, man. So yeah, just wanted to put that out there. And then also, real quick, because I know we're about to end. I think Chocolate Chip Scoochie mentioned he's like this is going back to the beginning of the pod talking about Minecraft. He said Minecraft has been out for 16 years or something like that. Listen, I get that. Mario Brothers has been out for longer than that, and they weren't cheering like that off of just lines in the movie. You know what I'm saying? Like the Minecraft, the reaction in the movie theater was just like, yo, they really like this is crazy. So anyway, I just wanted to address that. But anyway, so yeah, the super chat, Funky. The super chat from Luke Nicely. Thank you for the 199. Funky, any booms on the horizon?
Short answer, yes. Long answer, timing this is literally the hardest thing you could ever do. Because I mean, there's 4 kids right now that I'm told are, committed already, and like I was told they want to commit after the spring game, but that's what I reported. But again, it's just who knows when they're gonna post it. There's 2 offensive linemen, a running back, and a linebacker that are like in the class. I mean, they're in. You all can guess, I'm sure, but they're in the class. Just don't know when they're gonna post it. It's because that's what pretty much what we're like what he's asking, or maybe I'm not sure what he's totally asking, but it's hard to predict. So the short answer, yes. Long answer, yes, but I have zero idea when they're actually going to make it official. I would assume it's any day now. I mean, it could be literally in 30 minutes for all I know. So, but these are 4 kids that I know are going to be in the class, and I posted about it on the website. So the boys on the website know who exactly, or know 50% of the people who I'm talking about. So, but yeah, they're in. They're just who knows what they're waiting for. It could be who knows nowadays. It could be NIL. It could be whatever. It's like
exactly. No, you just read my mind. So a few things, y'all. There's a few things that could be because listen, silent verbals are silent verbals. But you have I want to announce on my grandma's birthday. She passed away last year, and that's on July 2nd. You got NIL deals being ironed out and agreed upon. You know what I'm saying? You got just different things I want to announce at my school, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Just no telling. I do think there's going to be some boom soon. But those are some things going on behind the scenes that could stop a kid from, because you also got parents like, listen, I know you're excited, son. Let's go home and sleep on it and make sure we're making the right decision. You got all of that. But listen, do not worry, y'all. we got them coming. The studs are coming. Go ahead, bro.
I'll be more direct on one of the kids who's committing. There's a kid that's committing who has unofficials still scheduled left. He's taking all his unofficials to be respectful, but he will not be scheduling officials in any other schools besides Ohio State, and he'll be committing to Ohio State after his unofficials are over. So I'm sure because he's good enough where he'll be posting all these sites. Look who's on campus. Oh no, look who's on campus, and they're gonna be like, oh, he's going to the SIP or he's going to wherever. Relax. He's going to be a Buckeye. I probably already gave it away there, but use context clues. Yeah, I'll let you know he's not going to take any other officials besides to Ohio State. And that's I trust when he tells me that I trust him. So.
Yeah, that's a heck of a context clue. If you don't get that, I don't know what to tell you. For
Yeah.
those who heard that. But yeah, so we can end this show on this. To all you scum fans out there, and I was trying to pull up the meme, but it's not showing up on my Twitter. Did you see the meme I made, Funky?
The
Um,
one of the big person. Yeah.
the big person.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. No, that is hilarious. But anyway, it's not coming up for me. But the point is this: the only people who care about a regular season loss in comparison to the greatest, most epic playoff run ever in college football history are you bums. Nobody, no Sports Center, no Fox, no Big Ten Network, no rival fan, other, SEC fan, none of that. They know that they just witnessed the most epic playoff run ever. That's not debatable. Now, I'm saying this, y'all, because I made a meme because I'm just like, you listen, every ring post, every blingy Ohio State ring post that's been put out there, rightfully so. We're celebrating. They were awarded the rings at the spring game yesterday. Here come the scum fans in their mama's basement, eating their hot pockets and, just trolling, coming to hate, talking about some 13 to 10. So I made a meme or whatever. But listen, nobody cares but you. We are the champs, and we didn't have to cheat to do it. How's that feel? And the hammer is still coming. You can post your little skeleton meme with the Ohio State jersey on. Oh, I thought the hammer was coming. It's coming. Educate yourself on the timeline, bum. It's coming. Go look at the NCAA dashboard. It's coming. That's all I got to say about that. Just wanted to end the show with that little rant because scum fans, I can't stand them. They're the worst fan base in all of sports. They
Not
have
even
the lowest
close.
IQ. They have the lowest IQ out of any fan base in all of sports. They're idiots. There you go.
It's You said it all. But yeah, I'll just say trying to compare a regular season loss to a multi-year cheating scandals, plural, plural, plural. Not the same thing. So can't wait for the hammer to come down, and every day that goes by, we're one day closer. Still waiting an update on that, but there's there's work being on behind the scenes going on, B Moses. So it's all gonna come down soon enough, and that's gonna be the greatest show in Scoop history.
Oh yeah. I mean, for sure. And listen, again, there's a timeline, y'all. There's a timeline. So, I mean, it's not like we don't know like when it's coming. So, matter of fact, let me show you. I got it to pull up and we'll end the show with this. Here's the meme right here. Hold on. So this is the meme I made. The classic. Can y'all see that? Is that coming through? Let me see. Yeah, the classic Jurassic Park. See, nobody cares me. And what I did is I typed in what I said. I typed in fat guy in mama's basement or something, and this guy came up. Apparently, he's a famous YouTuber. But anyway, yeah, just wanted to share that with y'all. So there's that. Let's go ahead and hop off. Kirk and Nevada is up next. Make sure y'all tune in. We love it. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Go Bucks. Time to go on this natty repeat.
Peace.
Peace.